My dear sisters and brothers in Christ, I think today we have a very special gospel. According to Matthew, it's very special because this tells about two different versions about Jesus' resurrection. The accounts of the resurrection in the Gospels, particularly those involving the women and the guards at the tomb, offer valuable insights into the significance of this event for Christian life. That's why, my dear sisters and brothers, it is useful for us to explore and reflect these stories and their implications. The first one is about the women's accounts. The Gospels describe the women, including Mary Magdalene, and the first witnesses to the resurrected Jesus. Jesus asked them to bring the news to the disciples, and this highlights the importance of faithfulness. The woman demonstrated devotion to Jesus, following him even to the tomb. Then also witnessing as the first witnesses, these women played a crucial role in proclaiming the resurrection. And I think this is very interesting also to reflect that, in fact, not his disciples, not Jesus' apostles, who are the first witnesses of his resurrection, but women. And the last one is about service. Their actions show the value of serving others, even in the face of danger or uncertainty. These women, who are very brave, they went to Jesus' disciples and told them about what Jesus had instructed them. The second one is the guards' accounts. The guards at the tomb bribed to spread a false story about the disciples stealing Jesus' body, represent a contrasting narrative. This account serves as a reminder about truth versus deception. The guard story highlights the tension between truth and deception, emphasizing the importance of standing for the truth. And the second one is about accountability. The guard's actions demonstrate the consequences of compromising one's values for personal gain. And I think this is still happening in our lives now, that there are so many people try to find personal gain, by refusing the truth. So what is the message for our Christian life? The resurrection's accounts offer several key takeaways for Christian life. The first one is faith in the face of uncertainty. The woman's faithfulness and the guard's deception remind Christians to stand firm in their beliefs, even when faced with uncertainty and opposition. And I think, like what the gospel just told us, that the false story about the resurrection of Jesus has circulated until now. There are so many people who try to make up another story about Jesus. Oh, actually, it was not Jesus who died on the cross. It's another one who appeared like him. And the guard story is another false story about this. So the second one is about the power of witnessing. The women's role as witnesses to the resurrection emphasizes the importance of sharing one's faith with others. I think in many opportunities in my homilies I mentioned that when we celebrate Mass, we receive a special grace for our lives, but that grace is not for us, not only for our own, but to share to others. And I think the women in the gospel today, gives us a real example. They give us a real example how to share their experience of Jesus Christ, the risen Lord, to the disciples. And also, there is a matter of serving with devotion. The women's actions demonstrate the value of serving others with devotion and love, reflecting Jesus' teaching. Again, we are called to be Christians, not only for our own, but as the gospel also tells us that Jesus sent us to proclaim the gospel to the world, to other people, those who have not known and heard about Jesus. And the last one is about standing for truth. The contrast between the woman's and God's accounts highlights the importance of standing for truth and integrity in all aspects of our lives, especially as Christians, that we are called to be witnesses of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Why? Because, as I mentioned in my homily yesterday, that the resurrection of Jesus Christ is foundation, the foundation of our faith. Without Jesus Christ's resurrection, our faith is without foundation. And without faith, we lose our hope. Without hope, we lose our energy and strength, courage to continue our lives. So my dear sisters and brothers in Christ, it is very important for us to stand firm in believing the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And by reflecting on these resurrection accounts, we can deepen our understanding of the significance of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, and apply these lessons to their own lives, to our lives. And again, we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We hear about the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the table of the Word, but we experience His resurrection on the altar. So let us now continue to celebrate His death and resurrection on the altar.